So I think I'm gonna two things I want to do. So I want to do real quick two things. One is work on what's currently built, and I think I'm gonna just basically rename these. So I think I'm gonna call these. Just give me a second, guys, okay? Because I just need to have something on my view here. Yes. So we're gonna basically. Why do they call it main? It should be master. Anyway. Yeah. Ooh, what is these models? Interesting. Okay. It's basically their Hugging Face kind of thing. Yeah, I guess so. You have like the models in here. Okay. Anyway. Now, so what I want to do is I want to call these something with like synthesis, software synthesis, or something like these. Maybe Grok can come up with. So I wanna come up with a better repo name for project that's about synthesizing software as opposed to coding or programming software. Pretty much drawing from a biological analogy. GNI synthesis. It's gonna be agent based anyway. LLM agent. LLM agent based. Can you come up with a few suggestions? That's definitely one thing. Yeah, usually they are usually so cringe, these names. Yeah, they're usually pretty cringe, to be honest. Nucleocode. Genesis. What just Genesis? Genesis is like beginning, right? Or something like this. Creation, origins, beginnings. I'm just gonna go with Genesis so far and whatever. Like, so what I want to do is I want to rename the repo, but I don't know if I have to actually do anything here. Wait a second. Not here. Here. I want to open the. No. What am I? No, I want to go to factory. So I want to go to factory. Really? Okay, there you go. Select key, explore. Yeah, exactly. So I want to rename. I want to rename the project and GitHub. That's fine. Fuck it. Well, let's just lose time with shit like these. Let's just go ahead and we'll keep calling agent. Okay, cool. So first of all, I need to figure out how to validate what's being built at the moment. So this is why I struggled last time, and I still struggle a little bit. Because essentially we have what do we have? So we have these. So we basically have how do I go to the files? So that's what it's built. Okay, so it's built something where you have a client application, you have an orchestrator component. Okay, so give me an architecture schema drawing. And I guess that's what it's doing, right? So we have a client application, we have an orchestrator. The orchestrator basically kind of orchestrates between the agents. And it's kind of what handles communication between the agents that are working on stuff. And then we have also the agent module. We have the agent CDL, which is basically command line interface to run, validate, and monitor multi-agent orchestration based on configuration files. So what is it doing? No, I think it's just the entry point, and it just checks that everything is up to date. And then we have config, which basically reads the configuration stuff, I think. Yeah. The LLM interface, which does the interfacing with, I guess, with Open Router. Yeah. And then we have the executor. Then we have executor, and that actually handles the OS layer. This is fairly simple, okay? So this basically decides on whether it needs to create a file or not, or how to create a file, read the file, modify the file, apply patch, run command. So, okay, so it even runs, okay, it's able to run a shell command in the project directory. Interesting. This is too easy. Create directory, file exists, directory exists. Very simple, actually. Very simple. Has it done anything? So yeah. Here. I'm still generating the file. But I wanna try this, right? So that's the thing. So here we have like a, what is that? Command timeout 30, max file size, save mode, backup files. Okay, so there is an agent config, like a base config. That's weird. That's actually weird. The LLM. But essentially, I want to understand so what has it designed this to do, right? So has it done like that orchestrator config diagram? What's that shit? It's actually building a flowchart. Weird. Very weird. Generates code. Yeah, it's all good. I think it was easy to understand anyway. Configuration. So here we have general configuration options. Operation agent. Okay, so builder agent configuration build, because we have an example. No, that's the configuration here. No, that's a schema. Docs. Oh, we do have an architecture already. Okay. Build agents, verify agents, operate agents. Examples. So we have here where we have a project where we basically have the project. We have the yeah, you can define how many agents you want to build with. Model, max cost, max runtime, temperature, constraints, files. That's kind of stupid, but yeah, okay, let's see. Allow languages, target directory, dependencies, JavaScript. Build. I want to see where this is being parsed, right? So the agent config, the verifier config. So you have different strategy options, agents, model, then tests, integrations, performance, security, thresholds for passing stuff, and then we have the operator. And we need to work on the operator. The operator, it's not supposed to be okay. So the idea of the operator would be that it deploys the application, that it's able to deploy the application, but it's also able to operate it, right? So I think we have to go, because we have monitoring. So there's monitoring, there's deployment. Then we have logging levels, additional things. What is this? Log targets, advanced features, nail memory, checkpoint interval, 5 minutes, parallel. Okay. I think I need to go one by one. First, what's the schema of these, right? So that's the first thing, agent config, because here we have the schema. Oh, yeah, we do have the schema here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We have the schema, actually. I didn't. Okay, so we have the entire schema here of the configuration. So we know that project build. Okay, operate, logging. So we have these, and I think what I would do is I would kind of basically go one by one, and I want to cut off, or I want to sort of frame a bit of these things. A bit of the things here. Verify agents, verify, okay. Component responsibilities, yeah. Oh, is bridge not connected or what? Invalid parent code. Okay, perfect. Yeah, well, essentially that's what we want to do, right? So there's a project, but I like these projects had to build, verify, and operate. Those are the three things that we want to do: the verify and the build. So, but I think project and build is the only thing that is required. Makes sense. Yes and no, because if you think about these, we might want to drop in something where it's like, let's operate that, right? You maybe don't want to build at all. You just want to operate something. So the idea is get on an old project, right? Drop in these as a plugin. So that's the design idea, right? The design idea is you drop these as a dependency in your project, and you kind of activate it, right? And that kind of, on one side, you can use that to spin off the project. You can just do that as a kind of verification layer. You can also drop this in as an operation. So I think really the only thing that is mandatory is project, really, or not. And one of these is build, verify, and operate. At least one of these, right? So we'll start by doing these. Let's just. I want to start reviewing the what's this called? The config schema, right? I mean, and slowly test what you've built. Let's start with a few points. Make project and at least one of the following mandatory build. without specifically specifying which one. Cool. That's the first thing. So it's actually gonna be you want to build, verify, or operate, right? That's gonna be the three things that we want to be doing with these. But that's the design idea. You kind of just like drop it there, and kind of let it synthesize the thing, right? So you either give it AI capabilities, you either operate it, you either drop it as an operator, drop it as a verifier, or kind of do the three things, so to say. From a project perspective, we have name, description, so only name is required, then version of the project, and tags. Right now, because I want to keep things simple, I'm gonna drop version and tags, and I'm gonna drop version. I'm just gonna drop version tags, and even description from the project properties. Cool. Okay, so it's doing. It's gonna be, yes. It's a little slow actually. It's a little slow. That's what we're gonna be. I think that's the best approach, to kind of go step by step and see this, because this is exactly I think the way to verify this project, really. Properties, cool. What model is it using? Low reasoning level. Maybe I should just turn it off. Okay, any of. Yeah, I could have done this, but again, I'm not gonna touch any piece of code, okay? It's all good. Reasoning models take long to respond. It's all fine, all fine, all fine. And then we want to do the following. So the next is we want to drop description, version, and tags. From the project specs in a from the project specs in the config. See, the thing is, this way of building kind of challenges you a little, because it really puts your patience or your concentration at it really tests you against that, because you're like, you kind of have to stay a bit on track while it's working on stuff, or you can use this time to think about the project itself, but you tend to basically just kind of slack off, or like think of like your mind goes somewhere else, right? What is it doing now? Okay, fine. Why? It keeps forgetting. Nice. So it can't even validate the schema. So definitely that's gonna be maybe I should just like put it like this. No, not a Google Docs. It's too light. We're gonna do something here. file somewhere. No. Can I just add a file? Like, I hate that. I don't want to, because I'll get distracted. I can just open new one. So we want to do, just because I'm going to drop these things later, because it's thinking all the time. So I want to, okay, so we want to drop the description, and then that's all good. But I want to know what it does with the project properties, first of all. So, what does, yeah, give me a second, guys. Okay. Give me a second, because I'm not so sure. I need 5 more minutes. I need 5 more minutes. Vale. Cool. Where are we? Yeah, there we go. So this, fine. What do you do with the project attributes in the config? Bro, this guy's still validating. That is gonna take a while. That is gonna take a while. So, project description. All right. Yeah. That's all you have to do next. I'm not gonna ask you anything else. I'm just gonna, guys. I have to stop the video, but I want to try this. Okay, so drop these. What do you do with the project info? What else? I'm just gathering questions. And then we have that's fine. So we're gonna drop the project properties. Then we're getting into build. Okay, so required is agents, obviously, which is kind of everything that is there, right? No, okay, there are constraints. Okay, cool. So there's agents and constraints. For constraints, we have files, allowed languages, target directory. Do we really care about these? I guess target directory. I guess target directory, I mean, this might make sense from a design perspective. I mean, we can just like add this later, maybe. Oh no, maybe it's okay. It's okay. It can be. We can keep these allowed languages. I'm like, do we want to really restrict languages? Yeah, maybe we can, because maybe someone just wants to do it in a certain language. I think that's fine. And then max files, it feels a little odd, to be honest. I'm gonna drop max files. So we're gonna do drop max files. It makes no sense to constrain on project size. You can constrain on build time maybe, and maybe that's what we should do. Constrain on build time, and maybe and on resources, right? On build time and money spent. Because I think, because this is basically at the agent level. Yeah, we should move. Okay, so runtime and cost. So runtime and cost should be moved to constraints, because this is something that we want at the project level, maybe, or the build phase, like from a building perspective, right? So move max runtime and cost, and okay, and cost to the constraints block for builder, for build, yeah, for build, basically. I mean, the thing is, you really want to get it. The problem is, if you put constraints into that, you're gonna just run into problems anyway. I'm not so sure. I mean, those. So check, what do these constraints do? Stop, warn, because it's rather like a warning, right? You don't want the project to stop, because it's just, you're not going to be able to plan for that. Although, why not? People can plan. Why can't agents plan? People should be able to plan. Yeah, exactly. So drop max files. And then we've got the agents and how many agents, and then we've got the model. And the thing is, I'd like to be able to say how many of each model. So that's for sure. I want to be able to see. I want to be able to define how many agents of each model, right? Because I'd like to be able to kind of, play with a few ideas. And the thing is, this might be useful, not from a perspective of comparing models, but from a perspective of resource constraints. For example, you want to use a smart one versus a local one. It's more like local versus remote. You know what I mean? I want to be able to support local models as well. So I need to kind of, to just figure out how to set these up. I'm gonna have to save these. And then I want to know, the next question would be, how do these, okay, so the next question would be, how are all these properties used in the code? And we'll leave it here, okay? So that's going to be for the build phase, and then we'll see for the build specs, and then we'll see what the verifying operation does. I think the operator is going to be the interesting one. Yeah, that's going to be the interesting one. Anyway, I think I have to save these. I definitely want to save these. Not in schemas, but just in agent. And I'm just going to call it master questions. Yes, it's just going to be a txt. safe. Okay, guys. Bye bye.